Hey Mama, I want to talk to you today about being present. It is so hard if, like me, you have a job and you have kids, especially if those kids are littles, and you have a life outside work and you have a husband and you have passions and other obligations. And when you have all those things, your mind is constantly going and thinking about those things, not to mention maintaining the house, doing the laundry, thinking about what's in the fridge, what's not in the fridge, what's under the bathroom sink. Do we need to refill the toilet paper? Do we not? Was Costco out the last time that I went? I can't remember. All that going through your head can make it so hard to be present. But here's the thing, when we're present, we can live with more joy. And when we're present, we can actually do better at the things we want to be great in. And so I'm going to give you a really simple tip. Simple doesn't mean easy. A simple tip for being more present. And it has to do with your physical space, with your physical being. While we are busy in our minds, we have to know that our minds and our bodies are connected. And so it's extremely important that as you think about being present, as you feel frustrated for not being able to be present, that it's not just in your mind, it's also in your body and in your physical space. And so for you to be present, you can take up a practice of utilizing your body and your physical space. Being present has as much to do with your physical space as it does with what's going on in your head. So let me give you 3 ways that you can physically work to be more present so that it's easier on your mind. And so you can actually do that thing, be present. The first is when it's with your kids, get into the space with them. Wherever they are, whatever they're doing, physically put yourself there. So I have littles. And when my son comes up to me and he's like, Mama, play with me, I used to say, okay, sure. And I would sit on the couch and, engage with him and kind of half play with him, but my brain was always somewhere else. What I found is that if I actually get down on the floor with him, I'm able to release some of that other stuff going on in my head and really be much more present. Getting on the floor, getting to his level helps me to be more present. The same goes if you have older kids or a spouse or a friend that you're trying to be present with. Go into their space and then be there in their space. Right? With my husband, it might be going into his office and having a seat there to talk to him. With my friends, it might be, hey, let's go into the backyard, or let's go out on the front porch. Let's just go someplace other than the area that drives me to think about, I really need to clean up this place, and when's the last time that I vacuumed the carpet, and all of those things, right? Get into the space of the people that you want to be with, and you're going to be more likely to be present. Another example is to create spaces for the task that you need to do or for the place that you need to be. This is really important when we think about working from home. I started working from home in the pandemic in a tiny Brooklyn apartment with 4 living beings, my husband, our 2 kids, and a dog. And where I worked was either in our bedroom or at the table that was the play table, the kitchen table, the hobby table, the bill paying table. It was the one table in the entire house. And what I learned from that is that I have to create a workspace. Now I'm blessed I have an office and it's amazing. And still in my office, I have to create that space. And there's one really simple thing that helps me to do that. When it's time for me to work, I open my laptop. And when it's time for me to stop working, I close my laptop. That opens and closes the space. That says to my body, hey, time to start working. Brain, time to start working, time to focus on work. And then when I close that laptop, it says to my body and my brain, that's the action. That means time to stop working, time to do other things, right? So creating that physical space for work is really important. When I was in that tiny apartment with not a dedicated workspace, I actually made kind of my mobile office, right? I had a bag, and in that bag, I put my laptop, I put my notebook, I put my pen, I put some little kind of gratitude cards that I like to look at. And every time, whether I was going to the kitchen table or the folding table in our bedroom, I would pull those things out and set them up. And I was like, okay, now I'm in my space, my physical space to work. It's so important. And then I break it all down to be sure, right? I break it all down and then I'd be okay, done with the work for now. And so it's so important to create those spaces because that helped me to be very present when it was time to work, even if I was working in what you might call a distracting space. The other one that I want to talk about when it comes to being present is physically, whether we like it or not, we are attached to our phones. Anyone ever get a ghost ring? It's like you feel that phone vibrate, but like it didn't actually vibrate. You're like, is that my pocket vibrating? Did somebody call? And nothing, right? You're like we are physically attached to our phones. At least I am. And so when you want to be present with folks, separate yourself from your phone. Even if it's for 15 or 30 minutes, just put that phone in the other room. If you need to wean off of being near your phone, or you might be in a type of job where you always have to have your phone active, set an alarm for 15 minutes or 30 minutes and set that phone someplace else. When the alarm goes off, you can go off and pick it up. But you don't have to worry about losing track of time or not being available to people that you need to be available for, but you also can physically separate yourself from your phone so that you can focus on the people that you're with. So take that phone and put it in another room for the time that you want to be present. There you go, mama. Those are my tips for helping you to be more present. Remember, being present has as much to do with your body as it does with your mind. So put your body in the right place and your mind will eventually follow. Here's to you. I'm sending you grace, peace, and joy because I know that we can all use a little bit more of that. And when us mamas have more grace, peace, and joy, the world around us gets better.